I've just gotten done speaking with Lieutenant Ansara with the Upland Police Department. He called me back in relation to a phone conversation that he admits that he had said was recorded, in fact never was. There was an argument that ensued mostly on my part in regards to my accusations that one of his officers still has an open threat against me, which hasn't been retracted, and therefore I need to go and start looking into bulletproof cars and body armor, because, I get threats all day from people pretending or identifying themselves as federal agents or officers, and I actually have one now from a real bona fide officer. And you have to excuse me, I'm still a little bit upset. I think it should be noted that this officer, in the video that you don't see, it's not a video. What you don't see is after the altercation, in my video entitled Upland Police, not more than 5 minutes after, the same officer was standing just north of my location and put what I'm assuming is his service pistol into the back of his pants. I then had two decisions to make very quickly. Whether to engage him or because the guy put his gun in the back of his clothing. I'm in full uniform. And anyway, so I had decided, instead of drawing on him, because I did feel my life was in danger, obviously I still do, because I'm getting quotes for upgraded body armor and surveillance equipment and a bulletproof car. And like I said, this isn't a joke. I get threats from people all day, and now I got a threat from an officer, and his department's doing nothing about it. But I had to step inside. I had to step out of that situation so I didn't have to potentially shoot him or be shot by him. And I got to tell you, I just got done talking to the lieutenant, and he tells me, and again, that they may come into my post in plain clothes with guns. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? It's like, because he accused me. First he says, well, you said that if we came in plain clothes as officers, you'd shoot us. And I'm like, I didn't say that. I said, if you come in plain clothes, we won't be able to determine whether or not you're burglars, and you might get shot. I was like, why would you do that? Why not just come in uniform? Why would you come in plain clothes with guns drawn, or with guns in your hands, or period? And then I went on to further tell him the post orders, which stipulate and state very clearly that if a uniform officer comes on a post with a warrant, they are to be let in immediately. If they come on a post for any other reason, they are to be directed to management. If they demand to be let on post, we must accommodate. If a police officer in uniform comes onto my post and says, "Officer, you must step aside," I will then recite, "Are you aware that you may be trespassing illegally?" Yes. Okay, welcome. None of my business. Those are my post orders, and instruction per BSIS is that we must assist local law enforcement, and that they basically control the post once they step on, as long as it doesn't dictate I'm on private property at that point, but if I'm commanded by an officer to do something, I must comply. That was gross. So, now I'm going to City Hall to get the recordings, because the lieutenant assures me this time that it's recorded. And now I have to also get a recording yesterday that I had with the chief of police, which he went on to state that the reason his officers may be taking things personal is because he feels that I may be intentionally keeping them from serving court papers, which the lieutenant says have already been served. And then they're saying the code enforcement's coming in trying to serve court papers, but according to them, they've already been served. Why would you try to serve something that's already been served? I told him, if you guys are allowed to, because he's like, you can't stop us. Court orders say we're allowed to come in. I haven't seen any paperwork. I don't know who the fuck you people are. That's what I told him. I also call him a fucking idiot. Because it's like, you're telling me something, you come in, pretend to be something you're not, you don't show me paperwork, you make me look stupid on my own post, you question my ability to secure my own location, and then you tell me, you're still giving me orders. I don't work for the Upland Police Department. I work in compliance with the law, but if they're in violation of it, then I must stand my ground. I must defend my post and my clients against everyone. And there's this case, I already told him I consider him a threat because I do. Oh, well, this officer's not going to shoot you. Then why'd he say it? Oh, we can't confirm whether he said it or not. He has rights. Until he gives me a letter of intent and apology, I consider him hostile. I consider him a threat. I'm looking into body armor right now. I've put in quotes with Chief, with bulletproof.com, with Safeguard. But you know, tough guys got to make tough decisions. And that doesn't always mean beating the hell out of somebody or shooting somebody. It's a lot tougher decision to show restraint and compliance and preservation of life than it is to act on a response that would be completely justified. You pull out a gun, you put it in your garment, I can pull out my gun. And then we have a problem. But I try to be tough. Even on myself, I try to show extreme hesitation, extreme restraint. And there's nothing more extreme than somebody who hasn't identified themselves as an officer. You got to remember, I work at a medical marijuana dispensary. People come in, I'm a federal agent, I'm a police officer, got a wreck? No. Well, can you make an exception? No. Oh, well, I was just saying that. Or sometimes they'll leave with the impression that they are. Oh, well, we'll be back in 10 minutes. We're all coming in to bust the place down. We're going to break down the door, and you're going to lose your job. And now I have an actual officer, a verified officer by a lieutenant and a chief. And like I said, tough guys got to make tough decisions, you know. And like that doesn't always mean beating the hell out of somebody or being strict. Sometimes it just means showing extreme restraint, which I've done. And instead of being accommodated or at least in some way, shape, or form, I don't know, it's just harassment at this point. Yeah, I even told the lieutenant, he's talking, well, it's being recorded. I'm like, okay, well, we're done talking because, at one point he's telling me that these officers never identified themselves as patients. Like, you weren't even there. How do you know? But like I said, now I'm going into Upland City Hall to request the recordings that occurred with the chief of police and the lieutenant at their request and support. They've allowed me to go in. They've told me, yeah, go in and get them, the public record. And I was like, well, why did I need a court subpoena before for this other recording, and now I can just walk into City Hall and get this one? What's going on? I mean, you lie about one thing, it means you're a habitual liar, especially if it's something small. How am I supposed to believe? Oh, yeah, okay, so, Lieutenant Answer, is this conversation being recorded? Oh, yes, it's being recorded. Oh, okay, cool. Lie, which he admits to. He says it's a mistake, but, it's a hell of a mistake. Especially the whole purpose of the recording was in case one of his officers came and shot me, so there'd be some type of record, so that's a hell of a mistake there. And then he comes back and he says, oh, well, that officer's not going to shoot you. You don't have to worry about it. How the hell am I supposed to believe that? You lied to me about this small little thing, this little itty-bitty thing. And now we're talking about something where there's been a verified, viable threat. And like I said, showing extreme restraint, I'm still saying I'm not even sure what the guy meant, really. I mean, there's what I think he meant. But like I said, when he threatened me, which is clear, to come back and it was going to be personal. I mean, like I said, that could be you're going to hit me, you're going to hurt me, you're going to shoot me, stab me, or in some way arrest me illegally, or you're going to buy me a cake, or buy me a car or a house, or grab my ass. I mean, those are all personal things. I mean, not necessarily that I would enjoy that last one. I mean, I think that would be more under assault. It'd probably be more of like a other one. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. We're getting off base here. But like I said, gotta make tough decisions. Tough guy. So there you have it.